Well, hello everybody, and how are you doing today? I just got off of a phone call with somebody, and I wanted to talk to you about how you're handling things as a caregiver. How are you doing out there caring for your loved one with dementia? I know that I've had a couple of phone calls, I've had a couple of FaceTimes, I've had some messages from you all. How are you doing as a caregiver? I recently was reading on Facebook a post by one of my really good friends, Ashley, and it brought up some pretty strong feelings for me. And I kind of want to share her post. She told me that I could. So, Ashley is a young mom of a toddler. And I know I always tell everybody don't relate your elderly loved one to taking care of a toddler. But in this, for instance, I'd like to share her post, and she said that I could. She said, as the days have turned into months of being on lockdown, the days at home with an active toddler who loves to be social get longer and longer and more frustrating and full of so many tough moments. The boundary testing, the attitude, the stubbornness, the I can when told no repeatedly. I question my parenting regularly. Now, am I handling this the best way that I should? Am I telling him no too much? Do I raise my voice too often? Should he be watching Toy Story again? Did he have a hot dog last night for dinner again? Has he had vegetables in a while? The post goes on and on talking about her questioning herself as a parent. And I know that many of you caregivers have reached out to me and said, hey, am I doing this right? Should I get the COVID vaccine? Am I, doing the right thing by keeping my loved one in a facility? Or what about those of you who have reached out and said, hey, I, especially during the holidays, maybe your loved ones came and visited you and they offered you some suggestions about how you were taking care of your loved one and how you should be taking care of your loved one. And maybe your person came across as being a little bit harsh. Maybe they said that what you were doing wasn't right and that you should be taking care of your husband, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, whoever it is that you care for differently. I have heard this repeatedly about how many times people have offered their opinion about how you care for your person. What you hear is not always true. But it's kind of funny, as I read through Ashley's post, I've been thinking about this for days. I remember feeling, and this was way pre-pandemic, when Max was really super young, thinking to myself, oh my gosh, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough of the right things? Should I be scheduling him more? Should I be doing things more? Oh my gosh, I'm not a Gymboree parent. I should enroll him in Gymboree and, soccer. And suddenly I found myself way overbooked with all of these little tasks that I felt I needed to do because somebody else told me that I needed to do them. But on the inside, they didn't feel right because my son didn't really like Gymboree. He didn't like, crawling around on all of those things that had, germs is what, he called them yerms. He didn't want to do that. So nobody can really tell you what to do with your person. You know your person best. I've been having conversation over the last 4 days with somebody who said that she thought that there was something wrong with her mom's bowels. And she said, I suspect that there's something really wrong. And I said, well, have you taken her to the doctor? Have you tried this, and this? Yes, we've tried all of those things. And I said, okay, well, you know your person the best. If you don't want to wait until Monday to take her to this specialist or wherever it is that you're going to take her or wherever they told you to take her, then take her into the emergency department and make sure that you convey what it is that you need to let them know that there's something really wrong with your person. So she indeed did, I think twice. Maybe the first time she was sent home, and the second time around, they found that there was actually a part of her bowel that was being a little bit lazy, and her mom was admitted to the hospital. So, you need to make sure that the message that you're conveying is the right message. When you know your person the best, and somebody tells you how to take care of them, and you don't think that what their advice is the appropriate advice, thank them. Don't get irritated and upset, because that is going to kill you on the inside. Not do anything to them. Don't get mad at them because they're not in your position every day. Thank them for their advice. And if you know what you're doing is best, don't let that stir up feelings inside of you that caused you consternation or upset. Move on with your day, knowing that you're doing what's best for your person. If your person, like Ashley's son, wants to eat, hot dogs 3 times and that's what he's going to eat, well, then by all means, hot dogs it is. Seek support from other caregivers. I see a lot of you in some of the communities that I hang out in asking questions and seeking answers to some of the problems that you face. Well, there are lots of people out there who have experienced the stage that you are in or are going into. So seek support from other caregivers. Again, filter through some of it. You're going to have your positive people and you're going to have your negative people. But just remember, what you put on the inside comes out on the outside. If you find somebody that's in there, that in your group, that is really super negative and you don't like their advice, well, then don't take their advice. Scroll past and move on to the next post that's going to be helpful for you. Make sure that if you're having a bad day, maybe giving some gratitude. You get the opportunity to be with your person. There are lots of people out there right now who can't see their loved ones. So because their building is on lockdown or they can't go in because the building has COVID. I know that 24-hour caregiving is very hard, but if you are a sole caregiver for your person, maybe take a step back, and, just be thankful for whatever small thing happened during your day that you can be thankful for. I tend to, when I'm having a bad day, I surround myself with those things that give me a positive feel and a positive vibe. And I actually have some of those things today. If I'm having a day where I don't feel like things are right and things are not going my way, and I'm not feeling like I'm having a very smart day, I've got my smart water. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it's one of the things that I keep beside my desk. And it's always good to drink water, and it's always good for you to do the same. I was giggling this morning as I grabbed my protein drink, and I was like, I don't even really know what this stands for. So I was kind of reading through the bottle, and I see it says it's what's on the inside that matters. What a great message, because the same holds true for you. What's on the inside of you is going to come on the outside. Your person is going to respond to that day that you're having. They're going to react to the way that you are. So what's on your inside is going to definitely come out on the outside, and your person's going to respond to that. So just remember, if you're having a bad day, take a step back, give it a second, and see if things can work out. Before I go to bed, I use the same lotion every night. And I was looking at it. Relax before you sleep. Turn off your devices. Shut off the reading, shut off the television, get into that mode of good sleep hygiene. Maybe it is using something like this that helps you relax with lavender in it, or even putting it on your person and helping them relax, giving them a nice little massage. If you are being told something that you don't like, if your person's in an assisted living and you don't think that they're doing what they should be, well, then go back to your core values. If you are your person's advocate, it is your job to make sure that they're doing the right thing for your person at the right time. And I always keep a little bit of essential oil by my desk. I like the smell of this one. It just so happens to be called Cheer. So when I'm having a tough day, I've got that beside my desk as well. So surround yourself with those things that make you feel good. I know that caregiving can be hard. I know that sometimes there isn't that person that can offer you that respite or give you that respite, but seek community support. There are lots of companies out there that will offer support and respite. Be open to that if you need that break away. Technology, if your person is in a assisted living home and they're no longer able to use their phone and you haven't seen them in a while, maybe talk to one of the caregivers and see if they can't help you FaceTime your person so that you can actually lay eyes on them. Be open to those new technologies that you weren't so open to before. Google Portal, I think, is a good one because it's relatively simple. I know there are lots of other technologies out there and being developed daily to help us support our loved ones, whether it's from a distance, whether we're close to them and they're in an assisted living, or whether they're still managing to stay in their own home. Make sure that you're able, if you're the sole caregiver for somebody, make sure that you're able to communicate with the people that you need to. Have your stuff organized. For this person that I was talking to about her mom who was experiencing the bowel problems, she pretty much had a chronological event sequence of events listed out for me that when I was helping her, I could kind of go through them in my head, like, okay, tried this, tried that, did this, did that. These things worked. She was able to communicate with me effectively enough that I knew, okay, something is probably wrong. I need to get her to do and take that next step. If you're going to go to the doctor with your person or you're going to do a telehealth visit with a physician or nurse practitioner over the phone, make sure you have your stuff organized because their time is probably going to be short with you. Your time is going to be short with them. Just make sure that you're conveying that right message. I'd like to leave you with Ashley's kind of end to her post, which is kind of how I feel about where we all are as caregivers today. I'm not sure who needed to hear this today, but you are doing great. You are doing the right thing. You are doing your very best during a very tough time. And some days are hot dogs for dinner with no veggies. And then back to the Toy Story movies with a lot of no's in between. But in the end, your person's safe, they're fed, and they're so loved. And today, that's enough. I know caregiving can be super tough. I want you to know that I think that you're doing the best job. If you have questions or concerns or things that you'd like to have answered, please reach out to me. Drop them in the comments below. If there's something that you're doing as a caregiver that you think will benefit somebody else during these really tough times, drop it below and let us know so that we can kind of pass that along, because I've always said that sharing is caring. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to reading your responses. Reach out to me. I'm available throughout the day. We'll talk to you soon.